with that being said, you big dummies, you getting paid now.
Right.
Everybody now has an opportunity to pull up their chair and have a seat.
And for the past year, we've watched something wild unfold. Cheryl Swoopes, a WNBA legend, locked in on Caitlin Clark like a heat-seeking missile. The accusations? Absolutely bizarre. That Clark is 25 years old playing against teenagers. That her rookie season isn't special. That nobody wants to play with her. It wasn't just criticism, it felt like a personal vendetta, and just when you thought it might stop, it didn't.
Some of your peers, they will recognize, her game, but they won't recognize her impact.
Right.
How can you separate the two? It's kind of hard, right?
And I used and Jax, you're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big dummies.
Boom, Cheryl Miller entered the ring, a basketball icon in her own right, and once Caitlin Clark's coach. She dropped a verbal knockout punch on All the Smoke podcast, called Swoopes a big dummy, tore down every false narrative. Miller wasn't just defending Clark, she was exposing something bigger. Something about the Indiana Fever's future that fans cannot stop talking about. You ready for this ride? Let's get into it.
3-time Player of the Year, 2-time National Championship, 2-time Tournament MVP, first woman to dunk in an organized game, gold medalist. Thank you for making time. Welcome to the show, Cheryl Miller.
But before we dissect Miller's explosive comments, have you ever wondered why one of basketball's biggest legends would be so obsessed with tearing down the WNBA's brightest new star? Let's unravel this strange personal crusade Cheryl Swoopes has waged against Caitlin Clark, from college hardwood to pro courts.
Let's also talk about how much more experience that gives you over other players coming in, right? So people say, dang, like he or she's killing them, but you have a 25-year-old playing against a 20-year-old.
It all began when Swoopes made one of her most absurd claims. That Caitlin Clark was a 25-year-old competing against 20-year-olds in college. Outrageous, right? In reality, Clark was just 20 to a typical senior in her fourth year. Like thousands of others, when pressed, Swoopes backtracked, blaming it on hyperbole tied to COVID eligibility rules, a flimsy excuse that crumbled under the weight of facts.
Caitlin Clark right now probably takes about 40 shots a game.
Carry on.
No, you like that.
Hell yeah.
I said that because when she comes to the league, regardless of what team she goes to that has vets on that team, she probably ain't gonna get 40 shots a game.
But Swoopes wasn't done. She doubled down, accusing Clark of taking 40 shots a game, painting her as a selfish ball hog. The truth, Clark averaged 20 to 0.7 shots per game. Here's the kicker: Swoopes herself took 19 points during her own senior year, just 3 less. Pot, meet kettle, and when Clark closed in on the all-time NCAA scoring record, Swoopes shifted again, saying the record didn't count unless Clark needed a 5th year to break it.
You asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record?
Except Clark didn't. She shattered the record in 4 years, just like the greats before her. And yes, the COVID rule gave her the option for a 5th year, but she turned it down still. Swoopes said she wouldn't shine in the pros. Then Clark started breaking rookie assist records, leading the league in dimes, rising as one of the WNBA's top playmakers. And suddenly, Swoopes fell silent. The stats silenced the critics. Rookie of the year, 19 points, 8 point for assists, game over.
Didn't say she wouldn't be good. What I said was I didn't think Caitlin or Angel would come into the league and dominate immediately, which I don't think either of them did.
Respectfully, there is absolutely no way, even when we're trying to sit here and play semantics about dominating, there's no way that anyone could ever leave this season in saying that both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese didn't dominate. You would have to further explain what dominance means for you to not sit here and say that a player who is leading the league in assists while averaging 19 to 20 points didn't dominate that season.
But perhaps the most revealing moment, Swoopes' appearance on Angel Reese's podcast. There, she kept minimizing Clark's impact while insisting she had no problem with her. Classic. Say one thing, act another. The contradictions are louder than her words.
I've known Cheryl since she was in college. I helped do her shoe deal with Nike in 1993, took her to her first SBs. I've known Cheryl, I've coached her, have a lot of respect for her. I called her when Caitlin was still playing at Iowa and she had just broken Maravich's record. And it was all over the place, as you and I have discussed, that there was this quote by Sheryl that said, Caitlin was, 25 years old. She was, however old, 24 years old. She was a fifth-year senior. Right. She was taking 40 shots a game. Her records were illegitimate.
10th-day basketball world saw the pattern end. Finally, someone acted. Cheryl Swoopes was quietly pulled from broadcasting a fever game. Her replacement, the legendary Nancy Lieberman, who wasted no time setting the record straight. She didn't sugarcoat it, she called out the misinformation being thrown at Caitlin Clark, live on air.
I got off the treadmill and I called her as a friend. And I said, you can say whatever you want. You can have your own opinion about anybody, but you do have to get the statistics right. I mean, facts matter. And if you just get ahead of this and just say, hey, I made a mistake on my numbers, then this thing is over and everybody respects you for your opinion. And, you might like Boston, I might like the Yankees. It's okay to have difference of opinions. Well, she got upset with me on the phone, and I was like, Cheryl, I'm not doing anything to hurt you. I'm just sharing. We're talking. And so our relationship it pretty much is not happening at this point. I tried to talk to her at the Final Four. Right. She didn't want to talk to me. My life's going to be good or great with or without Cheryl Swoopes in my life.
For months, the basketball world had been begging for someone with real credibility to step into the firestorm surrounding Caitlin Clark. That moment finally came when Cheryl Miller walked into the All the Smoke studio. And what happened next? An explosion. Because when a legend who's actually Coach Clark says, enough is enough, you get one of the rawest, realest defenses in women's basketball history.
Jax, you're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big dummies. Is she getting hyped? Yes. But she was in the backyard. She was putting in the same time, sometimes maybe more than you were.
Right.
I can't fault her for what she was given.
And Miller didn't just show support, she brought the heat. With surgical precision, she delivered a line that broke the internet. Just 2 words. Come on. You big dummies. The studio went wild, but Miller wasn't done. She spoke about Clark's work ethic with the intensity of someone who'd lived it. This wasn't a TV talking head spewing takes, this was Cheryl Miller, one of the greatest to ever touch the court, calling out the double standards Clark's been drowning in and exposing the truth.
Look, as much as she was given, you can't tell me if that door would have swung the other way where she didn't live up to the hype.
Right.
Come on, folks are still waiting for her to fall.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yep.
So, with that being said, you big dummies, you getting paid now.
Retente uncomfortable. Truth, the one critics never want to admit. Clark's presence, love her or hate her, has elevated the entire league. From TV ratings to sold-out arenas. Even the paychecks of those who've spent the year tearing her down.
You recently coached the WNBA All-Star game. You spent some time with Caitlin Clark.
Best coaching job ever.
Best coaching job
Best coaching job ever.
Being around Caitlin Clark, how was the experience for her? She's such a big star. I mean, the sky's the limit for her. To be around her, just talk about the type of person she is, how much she loves it.
I'm going to be honest because it needs to be said. I can relate to that young lady, and I felt for her. I know what it's like to be hated. I know what it's like to be a black woman and hated because of my color.
Yeah.
And what makes Miller's defense cut so deep is this: she isn't speculating. She knows. She coached Clark in the 2024 WNBA All-Star Game. Front row, up close, beyond the highlights, beyond the media hype, and what she discovered behind the curtain. Even she didn't expect it.
I can't imagine this young lady, I don't want to use hate, but despised. And people just having, she brought some on herself a little bit because she's cocky for a good reason.
Confident.
And I love that about her. But to watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative. And I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't the truth.
I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't the truth. That one sentence from Miller unraveled months of twisted headlines. She didn't stop there. She opened up, revealing what really makes Clark different, something fans rarely get to see.
Watching her pass, and I didn't know how talented she was and how well she sees the game in a 3D version. Thinker. Defensively, a lot better than I thought and gave her credit for. So watching her and just spending a little time. And one thing, guys, that I've learned is to step back and let these kids be themselves.
At the technical analysis of Clark's game lies something deeper, personal connection, formed in the fire of adversity. When the Fever finally secured their first win of 2024, Miller didn't just pat Clark on the back. She gave her something far more rare, something the rookie had been starved of all season: unwavering, unconditional support.
He was getting hit with everything left and right, and I just said, I hugged her. I said, I'm so proud of you. I go, savor this. Use this as a formula. I said, but keep being you. I said, no matter what, keep being you.
That embrace after Indiana's first win wasn't just the basketball legends sharing a moment. It was a breakthrough revealing how alone Clark had felt in a league that seemed ready to chew her up. Miller remembered it vividly. I gave her the biggest hug I could. When she saw me, she said, "Oh man, finally, somebody's on my side." The pain was written all over her face. She'd been taking hits from every angle.
And people that came well before today's game, they were skilled. They were incredible. The spotlight is now enhanced, and give these women credit. They have certainly elevated the game. But there are some truly, truly great players that could play today that played yesterday.
And you know what? And I love the way that you said piggyback, because in no way, shape, or form am I not appreciative of where the game is at and the exposure, because we get exposure. Everybody forgot Lynette Woodard until Caitlin Clark broke her scoring record.
Looking ahead to 2025, something special is brewing in Indiana, and it's bigger than X's and O's. The connection between Caitlin Clark and Cheryl Miller isn't just heartwarming, it's foundational. Clark has praised Miller as a true pioneer, someone whose energy lights up a room. And Miller, she's in awe of Clark's ability to see the game like it's in 3D. When Miller told Clark, "I'm so proud of you, savor this, use it as a formula, but keep being you," it wasn't just advice. It was a torch being passed. While some critics keep recycling tired narratives, this alliance is a shining example of what's right in basketball. The future in Indiana, it's not just bright, it's championship caliber. Let us know in the comments how hyped you are. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss what's next. Tap the video on screen. We'll see you there.